Hello folks, this is Margie Roy from 3dcuts.com, and today we're going to be making my Hummingbird shadow box. You should also go to my website at 3dcuts.com and look for the written portion of this tutorial. There I include things like the sizes of the individual pieces and the materials that I used and the sources that I got them from, so that you can do the same if you'd like. It is an important companion document to this video. I have cut all of the files using my Silhouette Cameo cutting machine. You can use any of the current cutting machines to cut these files. Notice in the upper corner of each piece, a number is cut out. That is to help you in identifying the main frames as we put this together. We are going to start by putting together frame 1, 2, and 3. Frame 1 is the front frame, and all of the edges get folded to the back. You'll see that there are dotted score lines, and you fold them and crease them toward the back. You know it's the back because the number was in the upper left-hand corner while you were looking at the front. On layers 1 and 4, I use score tape as my adhesive. I find it's very strong and it lasts. It also keeps my fingers clean, and I like that. So in each of the corners, place 2 pieces of score tape. Peel the backing off the score tape and adhere each corner, making sure that you make nice square corners. Before you glue the corners of level 2, you might want to add some embossing to the leaves. I'm going to take something soft, just an old magazine, and I'm going to take the back end of my spatula, because it's curved, and I'm going to draw some leaf veins into each of the leaves. This is totally an optional step. If you want to add just a little more decoration, you can do this. There, I doubt that you can see it in the video, but I have done some vein work in each of the leaves. I will now take level 2, layer 2, and I will fold all of the edges to the back. Level 2 is an interior layer, and so it will be held together by the exterior layers once it's done. I am going to just use glue dots and put a glue dot in each corner to hold it in place while I'm working on it. It is quicker than using the score tape, and it is fine for this kind of temporary application. Frame 2 is set to go. On layer 3, I'm going to fold the edges toward me this time and crease them. And on layer 3, I'm going to again use the score tape in the corners for strength. Okay. Now I will peel the backing. And I will form my corner, paying careful attention to keeping things square. Layer 3 gets a background glued into the base of it. I've chosen a textured cardstock that has a little bit of a sheen to it to add some more richness to this particular design. anything goes here. You could put in different colors, you can put in different papers, you can put in watercolors, all kinds of different backgrounds are appropriate. Choose what works for you. I'm going to use art glitter glue. This is one of my go-to glues because it doesn't warp the paper, it dries quickly, and it doesn't create a sheen if any of it should leak through to the front. It also dries clear. So I'm going to take this square and put it in there. This square is a hair over 6 1/4 inches square. Okay, that's the background layer. I will put that to the side and let it dry. Now the next thing I need to do is construct the flowers. My finished design had 5 flowers in it. This is up to you. The placement of them is up to you. Where you put the large ones and the medium-sized ones is up to you. But this large one for the hummingbird needs to be positioned fairly accurately. To make the flowers, each flower is constructed of a back piece, a middle piece, and the center. All of the flowers get put together the same way. You take the back piece and you curve and crunch each of the petals to give it a little dimension. I'm just wrapping them around my finger here. You take the next level, and I think I'll put it that way. It doesn't matter. You can flip them over to make more variety in the flowers. I will take that one and also curl all of the petals. And then on the tiny center, I will fold all of the sprockets, spokes of the sprockets up. That's going to make a center. Now I will take my art glitter glue. I will glue there. I will put this on top. I will put some art glitter glue on the back side of the flower center. I will put that in the center and press them all together. Push that off to the side and let it dry while I make the rest. I've included a variety in the pattern. You may not want to use them all, or you may want extras. It's up to you as the designer to adjust this as you see fit. There, I have finished a collection of 6 blossoms. I'm not sure that I'll use them all, but we shall see. I'm now going to work on the hummingbird. The hummingbird is made up of 2 pieces, the wing and the actual bird body. For the construction of the hummingbird, I am again going to use glue dots. I want the back wing to be placed right behind the front wing, but I don't want them to be glued together. I want some space to be between them, but not as much as a foam pop dot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take glue dots, and on the back side of the front wing, I am going to put a row of 3 of them above the feathers, the open feathers, and I'm going to double these up so that they're too thick. That'll give me just a little more dimension than a single glue dot would. So there's a second one on top of that first one. Again, doubling it up. And then I'm going to put just a single glue dot up here on the top of the wing. Okay. The back wing, this curve matches this curve. So I'm going to bring it in here, line it up, match them, and press them together. There you go. The hummingbird has some dimension between the two wings here, but not too much. We're now going to work on layer 2. Layer 2 will be adhered inside of layer 3, and at this point we want to add a strip of score tape to each outside edge of layer 2. You want to take a piece of score tape that's a couple inches shorter than the edge, and you want to apply it on the edge toward the front, right below the fold seam like that. You're going to repeat that on all 4 sides. Turn layer 2 over. This leaf is in the center, and we want to provide a little support there. So I'm going to take 1/8 inch pop dots, foam pop dots, and I'm going to make a stack of 3 of them right here to help support this leaf. I'm going to leave the backing on the last one while I work. With the download, there were 4 pink rectangles. These are to make little collars to go around these and hide them from view. When you have a dark background, you sometimes see the white pop dots, and that bothers me. These should be from the same color as the background piece. Take one and compare its height to the stack of pop dots. This is too tall for 3. It all depends on the brand of foam pop dot that you use as to how high you want this to be. So customize it to be the right height, to be just about the same height as this tower here. Then take a round tool, I'm using a Q-tip, whatever, and curl this particular piece of paper around that Q-tip to give it some curve. Okay, now take that and wrap it around your tower and understand the amount of overlap that you need to glue. Take your adhesive, apply it there, and glue with that amount of overlap. Set that to the side and let it dry. I'm going to test that. Yep, that works. Once the glue is dry, you can take this collar, place it over the stack, and peel the last backing. This is now set to be put into layer 3. I am going to take the number 2 frame and put it inside the number 3 frame. And then I'm going to take my tweezers and I'm going to reach in here and carefully peel the backing off of the score tape, one side at a time, making sure that this frame is down inside, and do this on all 4 sides of frame number 2. Frame 2 is together. I now am going to position the 2 most important pieces, the hummingbird and one of the large flowers. One of the large flowers is going to get positioned so it twists this way and it adheres to this leaf and the stem here, okay? I am going to put 4 glue dots behind the right-hand leaf of this flower because I want it to twist this way a little bit and get supported. So let's flip it over and let's take the pop dots. I think I said glue dots, I meant pop dots. And I am going to put 4 of them. 1, test that and see if I like it. I do. So I'm going to turn this over and I am going to make another round collar to cover this stack of glue dots. There, I've positioned a collar in place to hide the glue dots. On the back side of the Hummingbird, I have put 2 stacks of foam pop dots. Behind the wing is a stack that is 4 high, and behind the body is a stack that is 3 high. I have used the background paper, and I've made 2 more little collars. This one will go around the 3, this one around the 4, to hide the foam dots so they won't be as visible. On the flower, I have a stack of 4 with a collar. Now, I've left the last piece of backing on the foam tape so that I can kind of put these in and move them around without them sticking and see that I like the composition. The flower should go about there, and the Hummingbird will go about there. Remember, there will be an added piece of vine down here with flowers, so I want to leave some open space here. First, I'm going to position the flower. I can start by peeling the last backing off of that. And I'm going to look. This whole area here is going to get glued to the flower. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue all along there to help hold it in place. Position that and press, and then press the flower to each of these leaves that is going to help hold it. And then, because we flattened out the crown here, we need to again make the center of the flower pop up. Okay, that one's in place. Next, we will position the Hummingbird. We want his long beak to go right into the center of the flower. And I like that position there. So I will peel off the last pieces here. And because I find glue dots to not, pop dots to not really have great adhesives, I'm going to put an extra little bit of glue there. And carefully bring this around, position the nose right in the center of the flower, and press this into place. Give it a little dimension. There. Now we can take the other flowers and think about where we would like to position them. I know that I would like to have a medium-sized one up in this corner. And probably another medium-sized one down here. And the tiny one up here. And I want to save this one to be on the outside of the frame. So that's the positioning there. These are just going to get glued into place. So on the back side, this one across here, some glitter glue. Carefully position it and press, getting as much area sticking together. This one, I'm going to put a little glue up here, a little glue over there, and some along here. Give it a few minutes to get tacky. The last one, the major area is going to be along that black leaf, so put some glue there. Oh, some out here too. squeeze that one into place as well. Now, let that dry for a little bit before we proceed with putting the cover on. There are a couple of more steps in getting the space between frame 1 and frame 2 complete. I am going to take the leaves and again use a magazine and put some veins embossed into each of the leaves. There are 4 leaves in the cutting file. I'm not sure how many you'll want to use. I think I'm only going to use 2. The stem will go from in front of layer 2. It'll get glued in place. It will snake out through layer 1 and be on the front. So first we've got to glue this one in place. A little bit of art glue. Okay, while that's drying, I am going to take score tape and I am going to put a layer of score tape on each edge of layer 3 here, the outside layer, and I'm going to put it toward the back side this time. Repeat this on all 4 sides. In prepping layer 1, you need to decide whether or not you want to have a hanging tab added. There is one included. This is optional. You fold that part back, you take score tape and you run it along this edge. You peel the backing off the score tape. You turn layer 1 over. You position this in the center. And you press it in place. We now can take layer 1, take this stem and thread it through layer 1, and put layer 1 on top of the other 2. There we go. We can turn this over and take needle nose pliers and go inside each of these edges and peel off the backing and stick it in place. Repeat this on all 4 edges. Okay, this stem will get glued here and we can add 2 leaves to the stem. I am going to fold these leaves to give them a bit of definition. And I'm going to put glue on their stems. I'm going to put a little glue on this one too because it hits there. Add some glitter glue to the stem so that the stem can be attached. I also think I want to add another leaf out here. So I'm going to take my magazine and emboss some veins into this one. Give it a little definition. Add some glue. Attach it to the front. And that flower is going to get added right there. Isn't that stunning? Thanks for watching and happy crafting, everyone.